Welcome, I'm Alex Pipes. I've had Future-Proof Solar at my dad's property. I'm just showing you around his installation today where he's had hand tube batteries installed and solar. So he was paying around £160 to £170 a month, which is obviously quite high for kind of someone that's living on their own in a big house. He's got gas and electric here, so then I suggested that obviously a battery supplied from yourselves, and that it might be an opportunity to look at having solar installed and battery to try and take best capabilities from low energy prices overnight, and obviously store the good solar during the day to use as he needs to. Yeah, so I introduced my dad to Future-Proof Solar. I'd used yourselves for a battery install. I'd done my own research and was looking at lots of local installers, looking at obviously big national companies as well, and just felt that the service that I got from John from initial contact through email to phone calls kind of really satisfied what I wanted to do in terms of my purchase. Had a great experience with my install, and that made me then suggest that to my dad. I think, as I've mentioned already, I think it was lots of the contact from John and the sales teams to really go through what was going to happen from the initial quotation to installation day. So there was kind of no stone left unturned, and it just helped build that confidence and that relationship to be able to proceed, and that's why we ended up going forward on both counts. I'm a bit of a control freak, that's my problem, and as my dad was very happy for me to kind of just be his energy manager, as he likes to refer to me, I like to be able to kind of keep on top and make sure he's getting the best value for money and return on investment that he's made. So I'm there, the one that's kind of making those configuration changes in his app to make sure he's utilising his time of use tariff to the best of its capabilities, kind of keeping a note of what he's exporting back and making sure we're not getting any solar clipping or anything like that. So yeah, I've enjoyed doing it, and he's enjoying getting the rewards from it. I've got a Tesla battery. I really like the Tesla ecosystem and product, so I've found that quite easy to utilise. I've actually built my own app for that and utilised the Tesla APIs to kind of really give me more control. In terms of my dad's application with hand tube batteries, again, it's really good UI to be able to interact with the system, kind of set up those tariffs to be able to export at the right times, particularly when you're getting paid more for your solar generation. And I understand, I think there's more capabilities coming with the hand tube APIs in the future as well. I think the only concern my dad had was about the chimney on his roof. It's a disused chimney, and I think he was at one point discussing whether he was going to pay for it to get it taken down. The way that Future-Proof kind of handled that on the day was that they decided that actually they would change the configuration of the panels on the roof, so there was one panel less than originally quoted for, but we were sorted out in terms of having a refund for that additional panel. They obviously had that conversation with us whether we still wanted to go ahead or make some other changes. So then I had a conversation with Dad about, do we remove the chimney at probably extreme cost just for the sake of one additional panel, and it didn't make sense economically. So I actually was planning to try and get here for installation day, but I was busy in the morning myself, and I had a phone call from Dad just after lunch saying the guys have all done, they're going to be done in the next hour. They're really quick and really efficient. I think he only had to make them run around of teas. He obviously would have given them more, but they just didn't need it. But yeah, the team were professional. The scaffolding went up a couple of days before, so obviously that was ready for the team when they arrived. And there was just no messing around. They knew what they were doing and got it installed, and away they went. I try and ensure that Dad makes any kind of usage or heavy usage overnight where possible, such as like his hot water cycles and things like that. I also kind of ring him up and tell him off if I notice that he's using a lot of electricity during the day when he doesn't need to be, which is obviously reducing what he could be selling back to the grid. But in terms of other things, it's already reduced his direct debit down by £50 a month, and he's already building a big surplus of credit there as well, so that's going to come down again probably in the next couple of months. And the idea is that he'll be able to generate and get enough credit built up over the summer months to cover most of his winter bills with his gas and electric. So I've chosen the Tesla battery for myself. I've actually got an expansion pack as well now, so I've got 27 kilowatts of hours of storage. From my perspective, I've got access to a really good time of use tariff with Intelligent Octopus Go. So all of my electric now costs whatever the lowest price is at the time. For quite a long period, that was 7p. Obviously, with the recent reductions in tariffs, it went down to 5.2, and it's just about to creep back up again because I'm on a flexible tariff. But the bottom line is that all of my electric now I'm paying the lowest possible price for, and the storage that I've got with the batteries covers me throughout the whole year, other than maybe just a little bit short in winter. But that's not too bad. No, it's straight away, because you've got the data is effectively real time, whether you're in the hand tube app or in the Tesla app, so you can very quickly see exactly what is happening with and what you're spending that money on. Again, just kind of leaning into what I've done with my app that I've built, I can attribute the Octopus rates to my tariff in real time, so I can see exactly what the energy is costing me. And I think that is the key thing for anybody when they're trying to go down this route of solar installations. Less concerned, I feel very protected almost, because I think we've gone and actually future-proofed ourselves, so to speak. But yeah, I think at the end of the day, what we can't guarantee is the export rates dropping further, or the cost of energy going up even further, which is very likely to. But at least the fact that we're able to produce our own energy through solar, it's going to offset those bills in the future. If you put your moral compass back on, ideally you probably shouldn't sell back as much energy as you produce. But the fact that we've obviously installed batteries, we're trying to store as much of that energy that we're producing ourselves for our own use, and it's only any excess that then goes back. At the end of the day, I think we're doing our part, and that's all we can do. It's the money in my pocket. My electricity bill's been a completely electric house. I was £300 a month direct debit. I'm now £20 a month. So it's astronomical in terms of difference. Yes, I've maybe shifted a few things around, and I'll put the dishwasher on overnight because, again, I don't want to use what's coming out of my battery because I can sell that back up for a profit. So from my perspective, it is pure money in my pocket, and it's been a no-brainer. Don't hesitate, do it now. At the end of the day, I think there's a big boom market, so everybody is looking at what they can do to try and make themselves save some money in the long run. I think the sooner you get something like, especially solar in, it's a win-win straight away. Battery storage, whether you go for something a lot more high-tech and sort of the Tesla or SIG Energy, or whether you go down a Hanshu route or Fox batteries, at the end of the day, what you're doing is going to be helping yourself. So make that decision and go for it. Wouldn't hesitate. I honestly, the first thing I'll do is get on the phone and say that these guys, you need to contact them, either outreach to them or obviously proactively try and get that neighbour to discuss having that conversation with yourselves. At the end of the day, there's no obligation, but it's good to have that information firsthand from the experts such as yourselves. It's been painless, really quick and easy, great value for money, and great aftercare and service.